What's up guys, Kevin Cage here. Just wanted to do a quick market update on this Monday. So as we can see, ADA is down 11% today. We noticed that it is coming down and cutting through that 200 moving average on a daily. So what we've seen before in previous videos, I did a video 2 weeks ago kind of talking about where we could potentially see this market, not only comparing March 2020, but also July 2019, just simply watching the moving averages. Yellow cutting through, 50 is the blue, and then the 200. So we're seeing that some assets are utilizing this 200 as a moment of support. And if we have already seen some, altcoins coming down and touching this, does it mean this is just the beginning of this correction? Notice, if this market does pull back like many believe, this is not a bad thing for cryptocurrency. This is an opportunity. If you have watched this channel and many other channels out there, you should be well aware of the opportunity at hand and the future of these assets that are serving a real problem. Don't get me started on ADA. World Economic Forum, you could talk about Algorand, direct ties with the Fed, Coinbase, Circle. Don't even get me started on XRP, which is essentially what my entire channel is about. The assets that I'm reviewing and, consistently talk about are some of the most reliable assets in the game. I think that these projects that survive will thrive. There is no in between. It is wholeheartedly zero or hero. Now, I'm also going to show some other assets and charts, not necessarily backing them. This is not financial advice, one man's opinion, and just simply showing what we could potentially see in the upcoming days. So 2 weeks ago, I did show on September 7th a little bit about ADA, talking about it potentially coming down to the 200. Then I want to show Ripple XRP and then also ALGO briefly, and then we'll show some other things and show where we could see maybe Bitcoin going, what it means for Dow Jones, and what it could mean for some other altcoins that you are looking to buy. Me personally, I am hoping to accumulate some other altcoins, maybe some micro alts that I trust in, believe in and think that are here to stay and that regulations won't crush. If I can ride those up for a little profit and hopefully bounce back sooner than XRP and then accumulate some more XRP in US dollar and then probably spread between some other assets, this is going to be a win-win. All right. So whether you get XRP under 50 cents, 30 cents, or even 22 cents, good for you. You are in the right place at the right time. This is just a pullback. It will not last forever. We are on the daily, just looking at the macro view. This market will go up. It has been bottomed out for 2 years. Stay positive. Do not let these red days get your mood down by any means. And this video is more so just for complete newcomers in the space where you buy an asset at 25 cents and it's down to 22 cents and you're all sad. This is just the beginning. If you cannot handle those 10%, 20% pullbacks, you're not ready for those 1000% returns. And again, I believe that they will be much higher for those that have the patience and understand what is at play here, whether it is from a charting perspective or news. All right? Again, I'm just going to be overlaying the fractal, and I'm putting this on 1.5x speed just to save your time. It doesn't take a genius, and I promise that, I personally don't expect to see anything go like for like. Some people might overlay, ADA and compare it to Cardano, like ADA again in the future, for example, March 2020. So we'll just do that. And just to give you this little show, so really I'm not focusing on this part, it doesn't have to follow suit. I just wanted to see the behavior right here. So I know Mr. Level Up was doing the same thing and kind of just looking at the moving average of this 50 MA. Notice when it cuts through and starts curving down, we have a bit of a downtrend. Same thing when this, yellow starts curving up, we kind of have a good uptrend when we were watching the moving average behavior. So I literally just copied this little fractal for ADA and was just watching the behavior, and it is pretty similar. So I'm going to kind of be watching the behavior here, and if it continues to follow suit, I mean, pretty good indicator. But again, a lot of more advanced people will typically look at different time frames, notice the patterns that reflect there, and then also even maybe mix crypto. So for example, put an ADA, an ADA fractal over an XRP. So, and you can do the same thing with time frames, like maybe an 8-hour ADA fractal and then put it over a 4-hour Chainlink fractal. You look where it matches like for like. Of course, I use some other indicators. You guys know I'm a big fan of Fibonacci pivots in particular. Fibonacci ratio exists in everything, but you really have to utilize a bunch of things when you're doing, in particular, intraday trades rather than just looking at the macro. Just simply watching the behavior. We'll see if it follows suit. Again, I know this downtrend, guys, we've cut through the 50 MA, we've cut through the 100 on some assets, and on others, we've come down all the way to this 200. So if it did do that 200, you'd see about, 7.7 cents. Now, just to be clear, I'm only going over, ADA, ALGO, and XRP in this video. I love all of the projects. Again, I'm just showing you. Okay, now I want to show you, let's see, 524. So right here, we can see the 50 MA is cutting through. Again, what did we see in March? The same type of behavior. Now ignore, how the 200 cuts through here. We're just watching the 50. Okay, so when I see this, I think that we could still go down a little bit more. Doesn't mean it's going to follow March 2020. I know there's going to be some people that are triggered. So notice this is at 35, 36 cents. Today, ALGO is at 28 cents. Thinking that that is what I'm saying. I'm not saying that. I'm just showing that as an indicator. And again, I want to watch the moving average behavior as well. Okay, so notice I just pasted that guy starting right here. Again, a little consolidation here. And fun fact, guys, we actually had a gap in the price on ALGO as well. So this gap theory is pretty interesting. Again, Mr. Level Up is the one that showed me that as well. So we'll see. Again, we're just gathering data, looking for confirmation, looking for validation that the trend is in the correct direction. I'm just trying. All right. And then lastly, let's go right over here. So we did see XRP. We saw it kind of forming this little bit of flag here, going up to that 25-26 region. People were screaming bull run, people were screaming 30 cents, and I'm just not that quite convinced yet. It does seem that XRP is gathering some strength, but just when the majority of us think we know exactly what's going to happen, how it's going to play out, and when the time frame that it will do so, that's exactly when I will be wrong. That's exactly when I make mistakes, and I'm sure that other people can relate to that. So we're simply just going to have to watch this play out. All right, now what I want to show you is a few of these assets, and I want you guys to let me know how you see this playing out. Do you think that the Dow Jones, since it is down today, is going to lead the pack? Do you think that Bitcoin will lead the pack? Or do you think that some of these alts that are leaking down a bit are basically telling that we're just getting started here? Let me know your thoughts. So we have ADA going below the 200. We have ALGO right at the 200. We have BTC holding support at the 100 moving average. Notice that if it did find support at the 200 and actually go down to this on a daily, this would be roughly $9,200. Quite a drop for Bitcoin in particular, and I think you guys know what that means for alts short term, because Bitcoin controls the market. We can see some other assets that are kind of not necessarily following suit. We know that Digi did get a good little pump the other day. It's sitting above that 50, or sitting right at the 50, which is pretty nice. We'll see. It could be a complete psych out, as we know. I do like DigiByte as a good project as well. HBAR, more so an outlier, not really looking at those moving averages. I'm looking at fractals that I fully understand and have data to basically, refer to. We can see that Kyber Network is about to cross. We see it below the 200. We can see Loom, and this is on Coinbase Pro as well as Bitrue, and right at the 200. So we're seeing a lot of assets across the board hitting this. Seems that Ontology, this is in a lot of documents as well. I know King Solomon's found some information on this. We can see that right here is sitting at the almost, en route to the 200, right in between. I definitely bet that it would be at the 200 before the 50 again, but who knows? It could be a little psychological pull. I haven't really looked at it too much, just showing you on a daily. Notice VeChain, seems that it could be en route. Man, imagine getting VeChain once again at 1 cent, because we know the partnerships, we know the use case, and we know the future potential of this asset. Complete steal. This is a great opportunity, so stay positive. All right, we have XLM below the 200. So is this a sign of the times that other assets will leak a little bit lower? You tell me, just simply showing some data. All right. We have XRP sitting pretty at around that 100. If it did go to that 200, notice it is incredibly flattened out. That's around 21 cents. Okay, so let's just say 21.5, maybe 21.3. And this can change and fluctuate based off the price as well. And then lastly, let's take a look at ZIL, Zilliqa. So it is leaking just below the 200. I will be watching this one. Lower market cap, good opportunity, good bounce back compared to some other alts in the top 5, the top 10 as well. So simply showing that. Remember, I'm just looking at a mix of time frames, looking throughout the whole history of a coin, even if it has 5 years, 3 years of history. I'm just trying to refer back to that on a variety of time frames and looking at the moving averages, picking what I like, and we're just kind of seeing what is dragging out, what is happening. And the funny thing is this. Everyone is going to say that this is why the charts are going down, or this is why. And whatever happens per the price, whether the market goes up or down, the news outlets and everybody thinks this is why. Yeah, the price is down today because the Eurozone is printing 3 trillion euros. And the dollar is strong because of this. And we're doing this. And there's this geopolitical tension. There's always going to be a story at play. It's not because the chart was already going to do so. I believe that the algorithms, all of this is already in tune. It's a super organism. It's interconnected already. And basically the chart was going to do what it's going to do. And the news is built around that. But I know that's a little controversial, so be it. I would rather be a very different type of trader than a typical trader investor. You can bash me, but I don't want to be like the 99%, and so be it. We can, each have our different opinions. We're all just trying to better our lives and understand something that is rather intangible. Keep in mind, the chart itself is really just our psychology that is mapped, or at least the market psychology that is mapped. We know where this asset class is going. If you know, with Christopher Giancarlo, formerly at the CFTC, also of the law firm that represents Ripple and an advisor for Ripple, saying that all of the commodities projects, corn, metals, oil, all of this will be digitized, and the US dollar will most likely be digitized in the future. Fiat is not going away. They need bridge assets, and they need liquid means of payments and bridging all of this technology. That is where XRP will come into play. There's other assets that can even expand their verticals well outside of supply chain management, like VeChain. We know XLM, potentially even with retail use case. We can talk about Zilliqa with its sharding capability. There's a lot of assets, and when you look at the technology combining with the chart, you can really see who has the highest potential for gains. unless they just reset all of these algorithms and completely throw us under the bus. We'll see, but just understand that these dips are natural, healthy, and expected. It's good to see that assets are suppressed. Why? Because they know that the value is higher than what they are currently. Remember that. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to like, share, and let me know your thoughts down below, and I will see you in the next one.